I like to cook. I like to cook, even though I don't like to eat as much. I do like to cook. And a few months ago, 4 months ago to be specific, I started baking cakes inside the tandoor because I thought like hot air comes from all directions. And I had decided that if I make 10 cakes, not just cakes, 10 things in the tandoor, I'll buy myself an oven and see how it goes. And I made those 10 things very fast. It was like 2 weeks. But I made a mango cake in the tandoor and I made a vlog of it, and I did make a vlog of it. I bought the oven. Honestly, didn't want to buy the oven because there's no space in the kitchen to keep the oven. So what I ended up doing was I bought a stand for above the microwave for the microwave and the oven. So the oven can be at the bottom and stand, and the microwave on top. So oven, stand, microwave on top. Originally our plan was oven on top, microwave on bottom, but then we tried a few combinations and then decided that this one's the best. My original concern was that the heat from the oven will cause issues in the microwave above it, but no, the distance was big enough that it wasn't an issue. I bought a Borosil oven and it's pretty good. It's good. It can go up to 230 degrees Celsius, and I've been able to make a lot of stuff in it till now. So the stand that came, it was unassembled and we had to assemble it. And I feel like every few months, I order something that works like adult Legos to me, like IKEA stuff, because recently I went to my grandmother's house and I set up her IKEA shelf. I just like building stuff. Now, this oven, pretty good. It has given me one fail till now, but then I set the temperature to 230 with only one oven on. So it has multiple settings. So it can be like the tops being heated, bottoms being heated, both are being heated, the rotisserie is being rotated. So most of the things that I make it with like the setting in which it heat's coming from both sides. Like cakes, that's how you make it. And the one fail I had was when I was making a cake and I set the top one on and the temperature too high and the top of the cake burned like in a comedy movie. I'll tell you, the 4, I have recorded, honestly, I recorded 4 but I only have the recording of 3, so I'll tell you about the 4th one too. I've made so many cakes. I tried to make it with the stuff that we have at home, but I feel like the pre-made mix is not even expensive and it's much easier to use that, so I've been using that for now. I mean, I can make the mix, but it's so many small ingredients and it's much easier to just get the pre-mix. So for cake, I've been using that. So that's the first one, cake. I made a bunch of cake, but my favorite one was chocolate truffle cake. It's the one that when we go out, that's the one that we buy. So what I did was I made it in the cake tin with the setting for both sides, 20 minutes for 200 degrees Celsius. I think it went to 25 minutes by the end until the toothpick was dry. I made this amazing chocolate ganache icing to put on top, and it was great. It was the best cake that I have ever made. And I had these little pink red hearts to put on top of the icing. That was not a good idea. They were like made of sugar and they were hard. So next time I'm going to make it, I'm not going to make it with that. The thing is that the pre-made mix is baking soda and citric acid. Those two react the moment they hit heat. So that rises quite a lot. So even though I put this much batter, the cake would get this fat, and then I cut it in the middle and I put icing in the center and icing on the top, which makes it even, thicker. All in all, great start. I feel like I shouldn't have started with this because this was like 10 out of 10. Like ease of making, taste, appearance, 10, 10, 10. All across the board, just the best thing. Everything else from now is just like worse and worse. Okay, so I'm looking at the footage now, and oh my god, ew, was that my shirt? Probably the chocolate ganache. It was kind of messy, and after looking at this footage, I think I'm going to change the values, because even though it was the best thing that I have ever made, I gotta point out my piping is not that neatly done. On this, there were air bubbles in the piping bag, so a lot of ruffles have gotten ugly, to be specific. And I think I'll knock 1 point off of the taste because of the rocks of the hard sugar rocks, because they really did kind of ruin the taste. So I'm going to give the looks 9, the taste 9. Actually, I'll give the looks 8 and the taste 9, and the ease of making 10. Of course, the ease of making was 10 because I didn't really make it properly. But yeah. Next thing I made was the Hong Kong egg tart, in which you have to make like a flaky crust for it, and then you put the egg crust for it, and then you bake the crust. And once it gets slightly fluffy, you put the egg custard that I made separately, and then you bake the whole thing. And it was again really good. It wasn't as good as the cake. It was there was some issues with like the sogginess at the bottom of the crust. I've seen a few ways that you can avoid it. Most of them like just roasting the crust the first round of baking at a higher temperature so that it doesn't go bad. What I ended up using for this, normally egg tart, the crust is made of like a biscuit like situation, like pies, but the Hong Kong egg tart, it's more like puff pastry for crust. So I ended up making puff pastry for that too. Puff pastry was just the flour and flour, dough and butter in between. My father, I don't think I have any videos of it, but whatever didn't get used up in this, I made like squares with it, and I put in a boiled egg in the middle and the spices, and I made egg puffs for Papa. He really likes it. I made them for him again yesterday, day before yesterday. This one I will give the taste 8. I did not like it as much. No, let's give it a 7. And the flavor, taste flavor, 7. The appearance was 8. Appearance was much better. And ease of making was actually 5. It was like the multiple stages and different temperatures and making sure that custard's ready and this is ready and like pulling it all together. That's a little harder. Yesterday, I still have it right now. Should I go get it? I made cinnamon rolls yesterday. I still have it downstairs. Cinnamon roll, it was great. It looks great. Appearance, again, a 10. Taste, I don't like cinnamon. So other people say it's nice, but for me, the taste is 3. I did not like the taste of cinnamon. I just don't like the taste of cinnamon. But my brother says it's a 10, but then he'll say 10 to anything. So not exactly the best critic here. Also, the ease of making, a lot of the process is just waiting. So I think the ease of making is also like 10. But I don't like the taste. Everyone else does though. But so I might make it again. But it's not my type. I think it's just the cinnamon, the dalchini. I just don't like the flavor of it. I was gonna make sausage bread for this, but I didn't because it's too easy. The bread, sausage is too easy. So I have made bread a bunch of times with this. You just make the dough, salt, yeast, sugar, maida, flour, maida, and just let it rest. And then you re-knead it, and then you put it in the mold, let it rise, and then you cook it. That's it. It's too easy. You put, and after this, like between the before the re-kneading, you can just like roll it out and make it into strips and cover the sausage with it and let it rise again and then cook it, and that's the sausage roll. It's a little too easy and it tastes alright. It just tastes alright. So I don't have any video of it because it was okay. I just deleted the videos because I didn't, it was okay. I should have added some kind of spice because I feel like the lack of spice is what was like, oh, okay. It just tastes like sausage rolled in bread, crispier bread, but still bread. Also, one of the nicer things I made was jeera biscuit. Jeera biscuit was you basically have to like mix all the ingredients and pull them all together, refrigerate it, make it into the roll, refrigerate it, cut it into coins, and then bake it. The thing is that no matter how much butter I added, the biscuit tasted dry. I tried making it 3 times, and I think it's just the way that the biscuit is, because I added like increasing amounts of butter every time. But even the third time, when it was like 1-to-2 ratio of butter to flour, it was still too dry. So the ease of making, 10. Yeah, it was easy to make. It was not hard to make at all. Taste, too dry. I'll give it a 6. Appearance, I'll give it a 1. It looked beat up. Even after it was cooked at a high temperature, it did not like crisp up, like it didn't turn brown like how biscuits are supposed to turn brown. So I didn't like that. I didn't like how it looked. Okay, yeah. The oven was a great purchase. I have been putting potatoes and fries and those stuff with like very little oil in the oven for like 30-40 minutes, 20 minutes at low temperature, 20 minutes at high temperature. I'm not in a hurry to eat, so I don't mind the wait. And it's been so nice. It's so crispy and it's not a lot of oil, so I don't feel like heavy after eating it. It is a lot of potatoes still, but it's not like healthy or anything, but it's healthier than deep frying it. So as long as I have time, like the oven is great for a lot of stuff. Oh, I also have been making these cutlets. I make the mush with pea, potato, and ginger garlic paste and a bunch of spices and stuff like that. And then I cover it in rava, semolina, and then I just place it on a baking tray and I set it on a parchment sheet, and I set it to 230 for 20-30 minutes, and it's great. It's like, like how cutlets are supposed to be, dry on the outside, like soft and mushy on the inside. And it's cooked through. It's really good. Great purchase. Honestly, of all the purchases I make, I'm always happier when I purchase a tool. I know there's like a space issue with where to put the oven, but that has been handled. So this was a great purchase. I have in my notes of what all should I be cooking, I have added a sentence saying you can do literally anything. I feel like I got a bit of a complex because this was the only cooking tool I was missing. So I have been able to cook anything out. I can cook chicken, naan, the rumali roti. I can cook almost everything except anything in the oven. So like I was like, when I started with just cake, but like I've gotten harder and harder and harder recipes until we reached cinnamon roll. Actually, cinnamon roll wasn't even hard. I was thinking of trying to make like a bunch of croquembouche, like a croquembouche, but then I saw the recipe and again, it seems easy. I'm like, when it's too easy, you think it's a trick. Like it seems deceptively easy. So I was trying to figure out what should I cook. There's like a bunch of other difficult things to cook that I can try cooking, but I might not like to eat them because if this has taught me anything, I don't like to eat sweet stuff. I mostly like savory dishes, so I have been making more savory dishes, but it's an oven. I should try to make, but most of the difficult stuff are like desserts. So I gotta find like a good balance between stuff I like to eat and stuff that's actually difficult to make, and that'll be like good mental stimulation for me. I thought when I was buying the oven, I wasn't sure if this size of oven that I bought was going to be enough for me or not, because it was one of the smaller ovens, and it's enough. It's completely enough. I have not needed more space since I got it. It's always almost like it's everything I've made till now. It's enough space for that. Unless you intend to make like massive ass tray cakes, you don't need to. Oh, another amazing thing that I make. So I make sheet cake on a baking tray, and then we roll it up into little balls like how rum balls look like, and we dip it in chocolate, and it's so good. It's like crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. We make that, and it's definitely not healthy, but why are we worrying about that? It's just a small piece of chocolate. So we eat it like chocolate rather than eat it like cake. Anana really loves that. The cake is sweet, and the chocolate outside I use dark chocolate. It's more like 3-to-1 ratio dark to milk chocolate. So it's like a good balance of bitter and sweet. It's not bitter at all, but it's a good balance of not that sweet. So I really like making that too. I need to decide what to make next. I have no ideas. I'm just out of ideas, so I think.
Isn't that so nice though? If I have no plans, that means I can make whatever I want.
Okay, until then. Great baking.